It's a new day, it's a new me. Better make way, I'ma break free. Burn the roof down, let the flame breathe. This is my moment, gotta believe. It's a new day, it's a new me. Better make way, I'ma break free. I've been silencing the rage, trying to make peace. About to let it blaze, turn up the heat. I'm about to catch fire. Yeah, I'm about to catch fire. I'm about to set free. I'm about to set free. I'm about to catch fire. Yeah, I'm about to catch fire. Get ready for the new me. Get ready for the new me. Come on, come on. Try to hold me down and I go higher. Try to put me out and I burn wilder. I'm a fighter, a survivor, and I'm about to catch fire. Try to hold me down and I go higher. Try to put me out and I burn wilder. I'm a fighter, a survivor. Stand back when I catch fire. Stand back when I catch fire. Stand back when I catch fire. Let's go, let's go. Stand back when I catch fire.
Nobody can stop this. Force of nature like a rocket launching into the orbit. Winners are forming, wind into I never throw no caution. Nobody can imitate this. What you see is greatness. It makes sense, it's what I came with. Are you speaking my language? I ain't taking prisoners. Call me the Inquisitor. Winning is my signature. Victory practitioner. Life without a limiter. I am the commissioner. Winning is my signature. Winning is my signature. Yeah, I ain't taking prisoners. I ain't taking prisoners. I ain't taking prisoners. I ain't taking prisoners. Winning is my signature. See, prisoners I don't take. Under pressure I don't break. I will always find a way. That's why I win anytime I play. They go low and I go high. They say oh hi, I say goodbye. There's no discussion. I'm too fast for them to keep up with. I ain't taking prisoners. Call me the Inquisitor.
Welcome back, everyone, to PAL 2020, brought to you by PGL. This is the summer RMR event for Asia, and we're back into the game. I do apologize for the delays, but it looks like everything has been sorted. If you forgot where we were, well, it was Vici Gaming currently 1-0 in the lead, and more importantly now an overpass up 3-0 within this first half alone. I'm just Cap and joined by Mitch, and it looks like we're going to be seeing Vici go for a B hit yet again. Well, let's...
We're jumping in. Yeah, look, B-side overrun. You got Pro up close, going around the smoke, but cut off by Advent, shut down, and put into a 3 versus 2. Bren in a position now where they're going to find it hard to get back into things. Ja at least pulls back one, but they don't know about Alman, who down below manages to pick one off before pulling it all the way across, presumably for Vici. Wits has got so much to do with that AWP. It's not the ideal weapon to take these 1v2s. So long as Vici play it together, they should be able to come across the line. As Wits moves on over towards the site, he'll be looking towards short for these frags. But yeah, he realizes the time is ticking so far, and with 20 seconds left, there's just no chance for him to get in. He didn't even have a kit, actually, so he had 10 seconds to find both kills and start the defuse, which with an AWP just isn't feasible, really. And as the bomb explodes, that's Vici up 4-0, and a very strong start for them, you have to say. Getting in and overwhelming the B site as they did. And oh, look at this, a little treat for y'all at home. Oh, just for a second, the new map came up. We got jebaited by it. Of course, we've got some more goodies as the days go on here at the PAL 2020. There will be more and more beautiful effects brought to you. If you were here before the break, you will have noticed the drones that we've got coming in to give you some extra data on these players. We're not stopping there.
Well, 4-0, and Vici really trying to run away with this game. We can see Witsto with the op in hand, saved over from the round before, but again, I have to wonder what is he going to be able to accomplish with it, because when we saw him on Inferno, I think it was the 1 kill, and as I mentioned before, well, then again, that was a long time ago. First time we saw that 1v1 battle happen, Kaze won it with a Molotov, which isn't the way you expect to win an op battle. He's going to get aggressive in towards Connector, and again, he's trying to make the big play. He's going to get the first kill. He does get away from this one, and Jaw's going to come in as well and get himself a kill with the CZ, so they're able to rescue one of the weapons. Not a bad start here for Bren.
That's definitely not a bad start. One of the best that they've seen for quite a while. We mentioned on the previous map, they won a total of 3 opening duels, which is not where you want to be. But now, coming in with 2 in their favor, Bren could be closing this one out. They've got 3 players towards the B site, 1 for a fast connector play, and Vici shouldn't be able to get a whole lot done. They're up against pistols, but as long as Bren don't give those fights for free. Pro exposing himself to the smoke just as the spam comes through. They've lost connector control as well as Ja fell a little earlier on, and all of a sudden, those advantages are pulled right back.
Well, Witch is still going to be here. He does have the flashbang, but no other utility to help delay this push to come through. And he's completely blind, but he still hits the shot nonetheless. 2 more players to go as rotation's coming through, but Jamyon's just going to mow him down. And Vici should be able to get the bomb planted off the back of this. I think most of it comes down to Poppy Chulo. He plays the position really smartly. Goes in towards connector, picks up the AK that was dropped earlier on in the round, but he's not able to get the kill. Kaze shuts him down. And now Derek with just the deagle is going to be in the 1-on-2 with no kit in hand. This is going to be tough to win.
Yeah, most definitely. With just the deagle. If Jam Young was 20 HP, lower 30, maybe this would be winners of being able to put Vici down to an eco. For the T side, getting off to this strong. They've got a lot to do, man. This is, they're definitely not making it easy for themselves in this best of 3, we'll put it that way.
Yeah, this is tough times, and I mean, obviously, like, the upside is that Bren had some time to talk some things over during the pause we did have from before. So hopefully, they've been able to fix a couple of issues, and it seems like Wits has been able to really start to step up now. I mean, to Inferno, but I'm curious what's going to happen when Kaze, if they're going to keep investing AWPs into him to go for these battles.
I really like the setup that they've got. John needs to be very careful about looking out to the left. left though. Timing could really screw them. If they do come around that corner, they can spot the barrel, but that's where hopefully Wits is able to do some damage. But as you see, they spot the barrel, forcing Ja to take the wider swing, and he does that successfully. Now they can back off. They've got a 2-man advantage. Giving up toilets in this position isn't the worst, but they want to stick around, giving Vici the opportunity to take some fights. Eventually, Ja does start to back off, or at least take a more passive angle around that corner. With Wits on another, this should be it. Bren getting on the scoreboard for the first time. The bomb is left in towards Playground with 35 seconds, and there's only Alman left alive, completely whiffing the spray. And with a 3K, Ja pulls them into a 5-1 scoreline.
Well, there you go. Woods up to 4 kills, Ja up to 5. Finally, they get themselves first run, as you mentioned before, and they also do eat away at a big chunk of the economy that Vici had built up. You can see Kazi's on 5,700, so he could see the op being bought up. But they're going to have to start to really deal with the confidence Woods is getting. Like, Vici cannot afford to push up mid like that anymore, or without a flashbang or smoke to really set them up, or even potentially a nade stack to come through. Let's see now, Wits again. Maybe going for it. Kaze's going to have the op bought up in this round, so he's basically on 0 money now. It seems like Vici are going to play a lot slower this time, not really wanting to go in for those early deaths, those early challenges off the bat, and give the early man advantage over to Bren. Or definitely seen a bounce back, the team from the Philippines. And I like that. Flashbang comes through, and Kaze just jumps down and takes down Derek.
Style points for Kaze, that's for sure.
I mean, if he kickflip rail grinded down the staircase and then got the shot, that would have been even more sick. But still, sick nonetheless.
We'll have to remove a few points from the tally for that, so still a chance for
Tony
someone
Hawk's
to get
disappointed.
Back up there. Yeah, but he's only marginally impressed. Yeah. Either way, though, Vici opening duel, they find it ahead on the T side. You can see that at the moment, Jazz completely isolated. There's no way he can fall back from toilets without a big fight. He hasn't got any utility, any smokes, more importantly, to get himself out of those positions. Zoking has back turned from the flashbang, and Vici have allowed him to escape and slip from their grasp. But they didn't want to play greedy and force that fight when they didn't need to, especially knowing Wits has been playing around short and bathrooms quite a bit. And so they move down to that B site where they will find just 2 players. A late lurk in from Zoking as well. And he should be able to get a lot done as they fully rotate down towards this B site. That's Zoking's flank open to have some serious damage.
Oh, the flash, it's decent, but he still is going to fall nonetheless. So now Pro was able to come in with the help of Ja with the nade to help shut down the push in towards the B site with 10 seconds left. I don't think they have time to rotate back in. They're going to have to come in towards short, which it seems like exactly what Alman's going to do. But with 4 seconds, no time to plan, and Bren going to get themselves a second round on the board. That flashbang, talk about utility usage out of Bren on Inferno. We really criticized them heavily, but they've definitely bounced back on Overpass.
While their CT side buys have looked better, they've looked a little bit cleaner than Inferno. They had a little bit of time to, well, talk about it, I suppose, for some of them, whilst we were waiting for the tech pauses to subside. I'm guessing they could have a bit more of a chat about how to approach their CT side, and with that time spent hopefully improving, we'll see a better team. This is a very early stack towards B. They need to get some aggression down. I'm surprised there's no water control considering the 4-man hold. And it looks like they'll go for that in a minute with a flash just about to be lobbed over to allow a monster and short push together. But the thing is, all the while, Jazz been playing a very systematic hold on A. He goes forward, he's using a small bit of utility, then pulling back in stages to try and slow this push as much as possible so they could get those aggressive positions on B and then post back up on A. This is an ideal round. Very good early seizing of map control by Bren. Now they just need to win those aim duels with the 4-man stack they can have on A, knowing that the T's are focusing on this part of the map.
Oh, Wits, he's feeling confident. And why wouldn't he? He's got a team to back him up. He's got Pro there, he's got Derek there, he's got Ja as well, and it seems to completely shut down any sort of aggression Vici had. I believe they were even spotted because Wits, jump spotted earlier on when they first came around the corner towards Banana. Now Alman alone at versus 5, and I mean, saving the gun with 40 seconds left, not going to be possible. That'll be another round picked up here now for Bren. 3 rounds in a row. Good momentum built up, and more importantly, Wits, I mean, 5 kills, but he's got 7,400 money. So they have a decent bank building on the CT side, more importantly.
I gotta say that round right there restores a lot of faith in Bren. Just how they approached it, down to the aggression in B. They posted up. The A-hold was systematic, as I said. Ja knew exactly what he was doing the whole way, didn't overextend. If he falls, that round's over. But didn't play all too aggressive, and it looks like they've got some clearly defined strategies, which is what we said coming into this game in particular versus Vici. Bren know that they are likely to play Inferno. Obviously they picked it, so you'd be pretty sure. They know Overpass is quite likely to come up. They've played them less than 6 months ago on this map, and so having strategies and understanding how Vici play is quite likely. This round here, it's just pistols for the T side, and so likely 5-4. Great openings already. If they can win this one cleanly, that would do wonders for their economy, and that looks quite likely to happen. No.
Yeah, leave it to Jamyoung to mess it all up. I mean, again, trying to get a couple of kills here would be nice, but Wits is still going to close it out. So, Bren get themselves one step closer, one round closer to tying things up at 5 apiece. The money's going to be back here for Vici yet again, however. I was actually kind of surprised to maybe not see like a double up setup for Bren come out, but then again, when you're winning 4 rounds straight, why change up what's already been working for you so well?
We come into round number 10 where Vici haven't had success for a little while. They're strangers to it, but the foundation's already well built for their T side. The reality is they don't have to feel all too worried about where they're at. You can see this time it's much more proactive from them as well. Look at that. They're spread out across the map, taking the defaults and stopping Bren from claiming any of that early map control. But at the moment, Bren have changed the game plan as well. 4 players stacked up on short. They're going to blitz on through. No utility on the first corner. Do they get it around for the second? It sounds like it, but the flash is actually from Monster. So Alman is still perfectly able to see, but they're being very cautious of this corner. They know there's a chance there's a player tucked in. Do they look to deal with them or just pull back from this control? They need to support A. The rotates are coming through. That's where Alman should start. Oh no, Papi goes forward, but still wins the duel. That's great control now. C's down towards B, but they have lost the A bomb site as Vici can secure a bomb plant for free.
Well, post-plant utility. Just gonna be 3 flashbangs as the smoke was just used. On the side for Bren, they've got a hell of a lot to use. I mean, even Papi in particular has got the incendiary, the nade, the flashbang. Got the one smoke, which might not be enough, but look how forward we can see Vici are holding this. They still left Joking back in towards the restrooms. John looking to push in from bank. He's not going to be gifted an angle off the bat, and Jamyoung's already going to be naded down, but him over towards the truck gets himself another kill. Kaze gets one as well, and this retake is not working out for them as Vici just completely overwhelmed them. Just Papi Chulo now left alone as he does take, well, 1 down. Joking's going to shut that as quick as he possibly can, and Vici finally bounced themselves back after losing 4 straight and get themselves up to 6. But again, Bren, they had the money to spend. They still have money to spend after this round. But the adaptations from both sides, and honestly, I was surprised to see Papi even get that first kill there, considering like the whole timing of it. They really were banking on the fact that there's going to be a player there.
I feel like that's one of the rounds, Jason, where you come in, you play everything right, and you just don't get the reward for it. If that had been a B hit, I think Vici would have been completely caught off by the advanced control they had coming into the later stages of it. But noticing the weaknesses with nobody holding on long or toilets, it's a clear difference on how they generally played it. I love the ideas that Bren have got. The smoke going down in connector with the push-up from Ja. It won't get a reward. I don't think it was even heard popping, but at least then it's giving them that small advantage. Jazz getting up behind for a flank. Oh, I think he might actually be in trouble. No, he still wins the duel. And with them closing down the B-bomb side as well, having that flank in position to lock the players in there towards B, Brenner set up for success yet again.
Yeah, not trying to get cocky here. Trying to play this one out. Go for the smart play, and Alman was going to punish Ja. At least, so I get some decent damage onto him, down to 32 HP. Bomb's still going to be sitting over towards B. I wonder if this is going to be a rotate back towards the A site. We still have 40 seconds left, and obviously, Kazi, you don't want to lose this AWP. Maybe even a potentially a save is in the cards, actually. Alman's looking to rotate back over, maybe trying to cause a distraction towards the A side. It looks to hit back towards B. Kaze is going to lead the charge. The hard scope coming through. And Poppy's going to be, I guess, potentially the first point of contact here. 20 seconds time is quickly dissipating.
Oh yeah, definitely they need to get on that bomb site right now and plant, and I think Pappy should be able to close this round out. They're not in a position where they can really deal with him. Kaze spotted on the left side. Here's the swing, and no time to plant anymore. Luckily, doesn't get taken down after time. As we go 6-5, and Bren keep themselves alive on the CT side. Again, they've shown us promise. They've shown us the ability to come in and have at least some structure there, some strategies they want to deploy. The thing is, when it comes to Vici with 6 rounds on the board and the ability to take a buy round after this one and possibly put it up to 7, that's already a great T side.
I think one thing I've been enjoying about Bren, like you kind of mentioned before, is like their ideas and their willingness to change things up. I mean, we've seen Wits basically in every position on the map except maybe long. Like last round he was a connector, the round before he's over towards B short. Now he's pushing out towards birthday. He gets a kill in a jam young, and they're really keeping Vici guessing.
I mean, that's a staple of a good CT side, right? You can't really figure out what they're doing and how to counter it if it's constantly shifting. It's a sort of play on the, if they can't tell what we're doing if we don't know. But Bren definitely do know what they're doing. They've got their ideas, they've got their strategies. And for now, they've got a little bit of danger brewing as Kaze moves up through long. He clears out toilets, does a little spin for us. And now Jack could be in trouble with that Deagle posted up close. But you can see he's worried about that. He knows that's a possibility as Wits watches from afar. Jazz happy to take a second kill if that op can manage to find it. Thing is, Wits is focused on short as well. Oh, there's the flash. Great one. Kaze. He was still a little bit blind, so not able to react in time as Jack came around the corner. Wits now can focus primarily in towards short. They know there's a strong probability of these players actually pushing here. Up against pistols, I don't really like that very aggressive position coming through from Wits, but I guess this allows them to possibly get 1 kill and not be punished immediately. And evidently, they didn't think they had pistols. They thought they were up against rifles there.
Oh, Shokin gets straight in towards the site nose. Jaw's gonna be over towards long, but he can't quite get the kill, and neither can Advent. And that will be things all tied up at 6 apiece, but yeah, just like some aggressive play. They do rescue the op for Wits, and again, money's not really gonna be a problem here for the CT side. However, for Vici, they're gonna be able to get the full buy up, but they've not been able to get that consistency that we've seen on Inferno. It's just kind of weird, because a lot of the mistakes we saw out of Bren were just like kind of simple mistakes that like smoke's not being used, flash is not being used, and they like destroyed them last time they put Inferno. However, Overpass was a lot closer. I think it was 16-12 in favor of Vici, and yet Bren are playing like a completely different team from map 1 alone. I don't know what's kind of changed within their mentality. Maybe the break and then the tech pause helped out, but they're looking pretty good. I mean, there's definitely the potential for a third map in the cards.
Very similar to Inferno, though, where there were just a couple of rounds that could have went Bren's way to at least keep them alive. Although there, it was kind of a battle of 2 very messy sides of Counter-Strike. Here, things are much more structured, and Asian Counter-Strike map to map can often look different. I'm liking what we're seeing for now. Pro got the flash around the corner, and a great connection on it. More damage done to Alman, and Vici had the same idea, just they were the last ones. They didn't get their flash out in time. The trade back, though, with Derek swinging down and falling, they managed to pull it back in connector. A good one by Ja. Now, at this point, they've lost control of A-Long, where you can see that there's a slow push up by Jam Young, but Vici are split. They have to play individual Counter-Strike and pull this across the line, something that worked for them consistently on Inferno, but these duels are much more important now, and Ja just keeps on delivering. This guy's having an insane game.
We're not really seeing like many refrags for Vici, or to be in a position where they can refrag. Obviously, the first step they had over towards short, I mean, that you can kind of expect because they want to flash him in. Then they lose a player in connector to draw on the initial push, no refrag. Then they push in connector yet again, and Ja gets another kill with no refrag. And it's really unfortunate. Jammer, in the meantime, is actually able to flank in from behind to get himself 2 quick kills. 10 seconds left to go. And honestly, if you're a Ja here, you can just play out the time. Bomb going to be over towards Monster. He doesn't even have time to plan it. And it looks like Jam Young will just go to save the AWP, but that was a very close round in the end, considering how dominant it looked here for Bren. And that gets them 1 step closer to that guaranteed first half lead.
I have to agree with you there. I mean, realistically, we ended up in a very close round. But what you brought up, that play right there, the peek out with the flash, that was the only bit of team play we had that whole round. I mean, we're talking about how great it's been to watch it so far, how tight it's been, but most importantly, how the teams have stepped it up. And yet, every single fight was a 1vx or a 1v1. They were never in a position where anybody was able to trade. After that first flashbang, there was no real supportive utility being thrown out either. And that's really surprising to see. Either way, the firepower this time weighs up in favor of Bren. And as they clock up 7 rounds, again, anything that Vici find from this point is a bonus. If they finish with 6 rounds on the T side, they'll be perfectly content with that. But really now it's about trying to maximize their potential for this next half. And you can see they're shifting their focus. It's going to be a connector split up in through short, where they'll look to deal with toilets. Jazz either been playing in-con or left side toilets every round. At the very beginning anyways. So they should be aware of this as they clear out connector. There's at least one found, but the trade back immediately.
That's the refrag we were talking about that we haven't really seen too much. And Kaz is going to catch a Witch trying to get out of the rush streams, but I guess he had his pants around his ankles because he's going to fall. And now Vici with the man advantage. Especially on a map, the overpass can be so daunting. It looks like they do want to anchor in towards this B side, and Derek's going to be the one to defend against this with the AUG. Not a weapon we see too often. He's not even able to get the first, though, as Kaze takes him down. And now it's all on Pro and Poppy Chulo, and really the money's not there. They've taken so much damage these last few rounds that you're just going to have to save these weapons the last round and a half, and that will be Vici tying things up at 7. Or should be. I don't want to say it will be, because I've definitely been a curse in the past. But I think I'm fairly confident in saying now, especially with Poppy moving away, that we will have a tie score. But what a surprise, Mitch. You know, they refrag each other, and then they take themselves around. I mean, credit to Kaze, like, catching Wits on the rotate away after you fluff the shot. Even if Wits did get the kill, it still would have been nice to help keep things equal.
You know, finding 1-for-1 trades on the T side is always going to be ideal. It thins out the defense, right? Map stays the same size, but you don't have as many players to defend it. So your world gets a whole lot bigger. And for Vici, bringing over that round, you look at the setup that they had. Pushing into toilets, they get the trade. As you said, Wits misses the shot, but the setup there allowing Kaze to sit down on long and either have a long peek if they had to come up from the site, or catch them coming out of toilets. They knew that the majority of the players going in through toilets could flush the players out or just find the kills straight up. Everything about everything about it worked out, and that's the kind of setup we've been missing. Although in the previous round, you'll remember Vici, when they set up on short, that the flashbang just came through a second too early from Bren to completely catch them off guard and ruin their chances of a B take. So I think in that round as well, we saw structure from them, but just a really, really solid counter from Bren. They're trying the same this time towards A, aggressively pushed up on Fountain, allowing Wits to hold in calm, but he's leaving. With the control they have, I don't see why he needs to leave this position. And now leave short completely open for them. Those players are stranded. Where's he going?
Not sure. And at least they're not going to know Pop is going to be pushed up here, because he's typically been over towards the B side. He's going to come around the corner. There should at least be one kill. There it is. Unfortunately for him, it wasn't the bomb, however. Even Wit's going to be spammed out by Joking, as I think he misses a shot. Now the A side's going to be taken. Almond's watching the flank, though, because I know Poppy's there from earlier on when Kaze did fall. The other 2 players here for Brennan trying to push in from CT spawn.
Either you're pushing up A or you're not. I mean, the players on B, it's not like they had no utility left. They could hold off a B rush if it came through. That was so odd. I don't get the point of half committing to a strategy like that. And the flank there needed more trigger discipline as well. Just one kill, it's not enough. Especially when you have a player on the side who can delay them. Everything's just falling apart for Bren in that round. Honestly, they deserve to lose that one. As we go 8 for Vici, and that is a solid T side. I mean, they've built up so many rounds. Sure, it was off the back of winning the pistol, essentially. Had they have lost the pistol, they wouldn't be in a good position right now, with the majority of gun rounds going to Bren, which is a massive improvement. But 8 rounds T side is 8 rounds T side at the end of the day.
I actually want to see the result on overpass, but I'm struggling to find it here on HLTV, so I'll look at that another time. When they did last meet, for the close qualifiers for Katowice. I was just curious what the half score line for that was, but yeah, either way, I mean, Vici's going to be happy about this, and now the pressure is on Bren. Like, they struggled on their T side, there's no doubt about it. They only took 4 rounds on Inferno, And what, 3 of those rounds came fairly early on. The hits and come straight towards B as quick as they possibly can. They will have a kit for Almond. They do have a flash and 2 smokes, so they could section off the site relatively well. This could be the full 10-man retake here, or I guess 5-man retake here at the CT side.
Jason, I'll tell you, last time Vici started T side and they got the half 8-7. And then the second half was 8 rounds for Vici as well, obviously, to bring it to the victory.
Oh my
See if they
gosh.
can do it again, as this is certainly going their way in the pistol. They're looking flawless when it comes to pistol rounds, as Bren have got a lot to do, lots of kills, and not enough time, bullets or HP. Oh, Pro through the smoke. They're still defusing, though. He's got to get the shots on him, and it's just too late. Vici playing the meat shield around him, keeping him alive. And so 9-7 we go.
I'm just thinking, well, I mean, you kind of already set it up, right? 8-7, then they won 8 rounds straight on the CT side. Obviously, it was a little bit of a different roster. They had Borkham on the team in that one, which they did bring in, if I can do my thing correctly, Jaw in for this. And he's had some fairly good plays, so I definitely can't count him out at all. But I feel like Vici can be a lot more comfortable here on the CT side, really controlling the pace of how this game goes. You already see Joking's been able to push up towards playgrounds. I don't know they would expect him here. I don't know how many kills he can possibly get off of this either, because they forced up into this round, and he's gonna be pretty much left to himself. But he does some decent damage before falling. I mean, Poppy's down to 72. And Kaze with the scout. I mean, you have at least, yeah, you have players that you can one-shot here.
Creeping slowly up through long. The train is on its way, but it's one of those new electric ones. It's silent, more like a tram. Almond's going to swing on through and see if he can find some roadkill, and a 3K spraying them all down and shutting Bren completely out. Oh, that's a depressing one. Just one guy with an A1S, and Almond had a great first map, and he's continuing it on here. My God.
What's the difference between a train and a tram?
I feel like trains are well, I don't know if it's because they travel at higher speeds, but I feel like it's because they're
So a tram's like a streetcar, like a street train, basically.
yeah, it's a smaller one. Like,
okay.
They're usually electric. They make like a slow humming, as opposed to the train, which is more mechanical, I guess. Louder.
Okay. I can see that. Chunkier. All right, I can see that. That makes sense. But yeah, one M4, and obviously the push up. Joking to get the information of where they're going to be was definitely helpful, but also the timing of his peak towards long it could have been more perfect. No one was even looking at him. He even hits the third player all the way in the back through his other 2 teammates. Now with the AK rescued for Joking, should be a relatively clean round here, since there's at least pistols bought up, but not much beyond that here for the T side. 1-for-1 trade comes through because he's going to respawn. At least it's going to be an AK rescued here for Derek. But it pretty much comes down to him to carry this round now. Oh, okay. Smart. Realize he's not going to win the round probably, so throw the AK away so the team can't rescue it. And Kaze, oof. I saw 3K out of him. 11-7 now here for Vici.
Now they're pulling ahead with it here on the CT side, but Bren get another full buy up, and you got to admit the likelihood of this one going to a 4K spray down is probably not there. So Vici are going to have to find something different to rely on to win out this buy round. But with the lead that they have, I'm worried for Bren. I feel like they've got a difficult task ahead of them for sure. No AWP making an appearance on their T side. Simply, they can't afford it. And movement towards the B site is how we start things off. A short push, a flash over to allow them to fully peek on through after the smokes, and they've got control of water and monster. Now it's time to make a play pretty quickly, because they've made a lot of noise and have no control towards A.
A little bit of luck on their side, though, as we can see the players towards they have not rotated over. And oh, Jam Young, smoke, flash, doesn't seem to matter. He gets himself 2 quick kills, even potentially a 3rd on the cards. He does get it, and even turns around for the 4th on the Pro. That should not happen. There had to have been a refrag there at the end, especially when he's looking towards short. But Vici, they shut it down another time.
Yeah, you remember that thing I said about the 4K? Let's just ignore that. Let's forget it. Never said it. Yeah, Vici's going to 4K every round. That's insane. The spray through the smoke is one thing, right? That happens sometimes. You just got to deal with it. Life be like that. But the fact that he's able to find that and then just he saw the second player and went, I don't care. Alman's got that. My brother's got my back. I'm going to look at Monster. And the faith to have that much trust in your teammate, to look a man in the eyes and say, you're not going to kill me, and just turn your back. I respect it.
Ridiculous stuff. Gemini really showing how good of a player he is. And Vici again starting to run away with this. He said they got 8 rounds shot on the CT side and closed out the map. Well, they might be able to do it yet again here. And yeah, I mean, honestly, like, you shouldn't be able to win, or you shouldn't be able to get those 4, kills that he was able to get there, or 3-4 kills like that. Oh yeah, 4 kills. Like, that shouldn't happen. Like, the first 2, yeah, understandable. You're in a smoke. You're not gonna be able to see him. I would have thought that last kill should have come through, but I guess the push in through smoke was a little bit late out of Monster. Now we're tagging along with Joe King, and make some noise. Derek's gonna be there, but it doesn't seem to matter.
Well, at least he's taken down afterwards, getting a little bit too greedy.
Kaze's still on the scout, by the way.
Oh, he is. Yeah, I guess they're just keeping their money stacked up. I respect it. Let's see if he can get the headshots that he's going to need.
The 4K with the scout.
Oh, you laugh about it, Jason, but you're going to cry soon. Here we go. You've cursed it. But Bren, they're taking their time. That bomb's starting to move up connector. So they do want to move straight into the scout. Kaze will have his chance to get his 4K. One shot. It's only a tag that started off. His teammate's now going to be on the rotate. He spotted 2 players and falling back. Definitely the right call. Very hard to re-entry in with the scout, but at least he has the CZ for backup for those closer range fights.
Well, it's not like there's a lot of weaponry for the side of Bren either. You see the 2 Deagles, a Galil, and an AK. So it's still going to be a very difficult hold for post plant. They do have a flashbang at least. And I haven't been caught out through the edge of the smoke, but he gets the first kill either way. He got a smoke on a Jam Young, but he's kind of under heavy fire at the moment. Kaze comes through with the CZ, as you mentioned before. Gets the first, even gets a dink on the man towards long. That's Pro down on low HP, and Kaze left alone now against 2. Gets the first. This is going to be difficult to pull off. He does have the kit. Poppy can just peek in perfectly, and he gets the final kill. The Bren will be able to bounce back and get around. Problem is, look at the money Vici still have to spend.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that they came in. You imagine Kaze had an AWP there. That first shot is a kill. He fades back. Maybe he gets his second on top of it. It could well have been a 4K. And so in this position now, Vici 12-8 when they get the full buyout, the stronger weapons, minus the FAMAS that goes to Advent. We didn't have that much cash, but it's something that we were missing from Bren. So he can afford full utility. Although by the looks of things, he's only taken the 1 flashbang. Could have grabbed a second there, Advent. Good lad.
He's thinking ahead. You're sitting here playing checkers, and he's playing 4D chess.
I'm looking at all the players. Nobody has double flashes. I'm guessing that's UI related. I'm guessing they don't stack.
Oh, maybe.
So he probably does have them. I'm sorry, Advent, for calling you out.
Or maybe they're all just messing with you.
Yeah, let's never buy 2 flashes. Gentleman's agreement. Why? Because why not?
Looks like, though, Bren... I mean, they're going to take so much time to clear all of these angles. They haven't really invested any utility into getting this, restroom control. You can see Joe Kings might even peek around the corner at the perfect time to spot them out. He's actually holding such a tough angle now. Spots him out, and instead goes back towards the site side instead of going towards the T side of long. Kaze, well... Yeah, not working out for him. He needs some protection from his teammate, but he's going to lose Joe King, and now he's in a really precarious position considering they're coming in from 2 different angles, playing around the smoke, trying to retreat back in towards sight. He does get there safely.
He's made it away, faded into a nice position, knows there's a player close, misses the shot. That could cost him his life, and indeed it does. The round goes along with it as a 4 versus 1 now to play with Pro with some great openings, having jumped around and completely baited Kaze. Bren are still in with a chance to pull this across the line, connecting their 9th on the board, and with that they should reach double digits as Vici forced down to another eco.
That's rough. Again, just a couple of shots separating how that could have gone. But yeah, that's so unfortunate. You would imagine that shot as he came around in towards site should have been a kill. I mean, even joking here, should have, I guess, ideally been able to win out in that 1v1 against Pro. I didn't see there was a flashbang coming through. But, you know, you can't discredit Bren. That's a great initial push through. And again, Witz gets the op handed over to him. He ends up making it successful. And Vici on the save. We should see the double digits, as you mentioned.
Indeed, we should. The pause coming through, I presume this is this another technical?
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, so for the position that Vici are in, obviously it wouldn't make much sense to be tack, would it? Or just coming in with USPs. You can afford a little bit, right? Alman, Jam Young, one of those could pick up a deagle, but of course you want to keep a lot of your money stacked up so that you can buy up your AWP. Can be a major factor for someone like Kaze on 23 kills at the moment. Is being, and it was something we mentioned coming into this map, was that for Vici, Kaze's performance on the op wasn't insane on Inferno, but it wasn't required. Certainly on Inferno in general, oppers aren't a prerequisite for winning that map, especially on the attacking side. But we expected him to turn up to Overpass on a whole new form, and he's certainly gone Super Saiyan with that one. As we come into the round number 22, Bren shouldn't be allowing any more 4Ks, though, hopefully, Jason. We can cross our fingers.
I'm a little disappointed. You kind of ruined the Super Saiyan joke there. His hair's red.
That's true.
So, you know,
maybe
Super Saiyan God.
Maybe it's an old picture. I think it's actually turned yellow as soon as they came onto this map.
I remember as a kid thinking that I could actually do that, or hoping I could do that. That'd have been so cool. Just like change your hair color, make it stand up in your eye color, just out of nowhere. You forget about the flying and the key blast, but
if you try hard enough, I think the best you can get is like an awkward bowel movement.
Or in my case, gray hair.
Oh,
I'll take that over the bowel movement, I guess.
Oh, it'll come.
Gray hair is always better than an unexpected bowel movement. Oh, that's true. Well,
how have we gotten here?
I honestly don't know. I mean, your mind was in the toilet. There's toilets on the map, so it kind of makes sense.
There
I think Almond spotted out the one player towards long. And we can see Vici have gone for the 4-man stack towards B, so maybe the calls will be made for the rotations to come through. They're not invested into any armor. They do have a flashbang on Advent, but I think by the time Almond actually sees him coming around this corner, it's going to be too late for the rotations to come in to stop the hit from hitting A.
Yeah, this just has to be duels, one out. Heads up fight! Salmon's so close to finding that cleanly, but it took 4 bullets and enough time for his opponents to line him up and take him down through that smoke. Now the pistols to barrel back in together. 2-3 now through the bank. If they come on out, missing a couple shots to Ja. He's making the call, but they trade it back. I mean, look, one more kill. I'm already happy with their performance. Managed to retrieve an AK. Jam Young not doing anything with it. 12-10. Bren clock up double digits as expected, but here's where Vici get the full buy. The AWP already in the hands of the dangerous Kaze. And the rest of the team. I'm surprised the A1S is still used so much, honestly. I hate the weapon. I can't remember who it was. Dropped me it, and I just told them to never drop me again. I'd take a pistol in future.
I mean, I will say this. It does feel way better to get a 2-tap with the AS than the unsilenced. So that's the one upside to it. However, you have to be good enough to hit the head twice in a row, and
that's my problem.
Yeah. Oh, Kaze being boosted over towards the other side of Monster. Molotov coming through, doing a lot. Don't tell me it's gonna happen twice, Witz. Oh my, poor guy. Just can't get a break in this game when it comes to fire.
They just got burned for 92 and then spammed through a wall by an A1S of all things. Oh god, Witz is just not having a good game, is he? It's 2 very unfortunate deaths. And the man advantage coming through, and when you spot Witz in towards the B site, of especially short, you know there's at least one more player with him. There's no way they're sending their opper solo towards B, short of all places. This B hit won't catch them by surprise. There's 3 players for Vici ready to go. The first flash actually blinded the players from Bren down in Monster. Delays the push a little bit. The smoke around allows Jam Young to peek to short. Doesn't find a kill, but the trade immediately there. Advent in with a double on the FAMAS. Low HP on Ja. And he just sits in the smoke as Alman cleans Ja up. And Pro gives away a spot to get shot through the smoke by Kaze. 13-10. And Vici do so, getting that 13th round on the board in a very convincing fashion. Bren still have the cash to buy. Not the end of the world, but Jason, I would be getting worried allowing Vici to get this close to map point. Series point, even.
Yeah, I mean, you imagine they lose this. Vici get themselves to 14, and if they've invested into this round, then that means they're going to be down to a really scrappy buy in the round thereafter. I think, seeing Advent there, my favorite part of that play was the fact that he went into the smoke after he got those 2 kills, right? He doesn't just like stay out of it and die, he doesn't get traded out, and he just becomes this like constant threat. Thinking back to Jamyoung on one of their CT rounds when he just stayed alive in pit but lost everyone else around him. That threat is so impactful, and Vici have a chance to really run away with this game. 13-10, already won the first map, and I think they'd be more than happy to get a first series under their belt, and then look forward to the next 8 they have to come up over these next weeks. And while Jamyoung has been a star, he might have an opportunity to do it yet again because he's solo defending this B site. This is so interesting because they have all the weaponry they need, and they're really just like fully committing towards that A site. Like this kind of reminds me of Inferno, where they're going for like the 4-man stacks towards A and then leaving the B defender back towards CT.
With no contact, though, and those smokes coming over, they have to rotate, and they're going to have to do so quickly. Zoking is poking out. He sees that he's clear in towards the playground, and so now a fast flank on its way. The rest of the players moving down as well. So the back is covered. The only danger here is a connector rotate up to A, which is why you're still seeing the likes of Kaze holding in position. In fact, he could have stayed up aggressively on short. The only thing is he wants to be able to rotate down a little bit faster. Zoking moves into Con. Now going to be able to see the door not open, that they haven't moved. I expect a faster stack moving down towards this site. They're already on the rotate, but Alman's been taken down. Jam completely flashed, but he comes through, and the night is still young as he takes a kill. But Zoking falls, the flank is deleted, and so much pressure for Jamyoung to make this work, and somehow he's doing it. Keeping them back, even as all his teammates fall around him, he's still alive, doing the damage, and Advent finishing it on a double to bring Vici 14-10. And even with that bomb plant, Bren are going to be struggling a little bit on a couple of those players.
But again, like, so good at Jamyoung just to stay alive. Like we just talked about Advent doing it in the round before, just stalling for time, waiting for the reinforcements to get there, waiting for the other kills to come through to give Tim angles to shoot out on. Himself 2 kills, gets Vici 1 step closer to their first series victory, and as you said, the bomb plant gives them a little bit of extra money, but there's still some players who are definitely hurting. They're gonna have to go for the lesser weapons just for the utility alone.
Yeah, I really don't know how Jamyoung stayed alive in that position. I mean, they knew where he was, tried to deal with him, even peeked in to go for trades. I can't criticize what Bren did. All I can say is that man is an absolute animal. An Advent in that second kill. We didn't see it from his perspective originally, but the replay shows us the little flick through the smoke, the pre-fire, and it worked out. That's depressing for Bren. As we said, some players would be struggling, and you can see Wits is on a Mach 10 while Derek only has a Deagle. They failed to take down Alman, who just falls back from short happily. And although Bren gets some map control, again, look at how much they have across the map. They're very much going to have to dedicate themselves in towards one of these sites. And with Derek being spammed in the very same position Wits fell before, they shift their focus to A.
Oh man, and Kaze gets a kill as well. It seems like everywhere they're going, they're being shut down. Joking's going to be here, and he's going to come around the corner at the perfect time to take down Pro. Wait, what? I'm not sure why Poppy wasn't looking that direction already off the bat, but that's going to be another kill coming through for Joking when he should have gotten the second. His job by himself with everything left to do, 4 players left to find, and really not much cash left in the bank here for potentially the final round of the series.
Bren have got to really be feeling just deflated at the moment. It's another series where, certainly here on Overpass, they've been able to put up a really solid fight. Inferno defined by a couple of rounds. It was super one-sided, but it didn't necessarily have to be. It could have went their way. It could have went at least a little bit closer, is the thing. And to go out 2-0, I really don't feel like this is a fair representation in a way of Bren. At the same time, Inferno was so messy from both of these teams. I don't know if it was first game of the day, maybe. Let's put it down to that. And Alman's being consistent on that spam, I just want to say. That's Derek and Wits he's taken down in the last couple of rounds alone.
Yeah, that was disgusting, that spray, actually. But I do want to say this, though. I mean, we're looking at, Vici, who are currently ranked 4th in RMR points when it comes to Asia. Like, this isn't a team that you can, scoff off. This is probably one of the teams we're looking at, getting through into the major. I mean, you have Tiger at 1,600, Tai Lu at 1,500, D13 at 1,350, and Vici at 1,350. So it's definitely a tough match, especially for Bren, who kind of came through the qualifier like last minute, right? They didn't even get to play in the road to Rio. So I think it's a good sign. And I think if they can like tighten some things up, as you mentioned on Inferno, like that scoreline really doesn't tell how that map could have gone. And I think we could see a decent contender here throughout these next few weeks.
I'm sure we're going to see a lot more from Bren. As we said, the mistakes they were making can be fixed quite easily. A fast B rush is how they look to fix them right here, and they haven't spotted out Jam Young. The smoke allowing them to stay alive over in the barrels for a little bit longer.
Oh no.
Delay the engagement while his teammates rotate down. He looks to go through it on the back of a flash, presumably, but it doesn't land as Ja takes the frag for free. And within time, I mean, that was a very aggressive push. We're in a spot where Bren can actually win this. They can force all the close range duels.
And Avid's just waiting for someone to peek him. Doesn't seem like that peek's gonna eventually come, though. Flashbang gets thrown in. Joaquin's gonna push in, gets flashed up, and he gets some decent damage done, but it might not be enough. Avid's able to get one for himself, but he's gonna fall, and it seems like this rush in towards the B site's gonna work out. Bren gonna get themselves up to 11. Just squeak by here in round number 26, but they keep themselves alive.
The dream of 5 rounds in a row at least becomes closer to reality with the fact that they're only 4 now. I'm just taking a look, actually. So Alman's saved over the AWP. The rest of the team are really iffy on money. In fact, I wouldn't mind them just taking pistols around this op and seeing what they can get done. Kaze takes his armor. Okay, he's going to swap an M4, so no, they're going to full force into this one.
I just wonder if they're going to play around the op. Like, either keep people near it, or have it kind of like, I don't know, get aggressive to look for a peek. I mean, Kaze's been fairly successful. And they actually are going to be going for the 4-man stack towards A yet again, like we saw a couple rounds prior.
The issue in this spot, though, is with Advent being solo B and very light on utility, only a smoke and a flash remaining, he can't really hold there for long. Alman had to take that connector control. Now he's covering short, so Advent only has to worry about long. This, or Monster, this is somewhere that they can definitely work from.
I thought you were going to say the problem is that it's Advent on the site, not Jamyoung. Considering what we saw, before. But this actually might work out for them. If they hold these lines, Bren might be walking directly into a trap, and the minute 8 left to go, I'd imagine they're going to stay for a little bit longer. It comes down, Kaze potentially hit these shots. You can see him trying to cover off 2 different angles. Ja might be the one to peek around, though. There's no real incentive to go for it without a flash or something. But that Molotov being thrown, I mean, that maybe gives them the idea of maybe we should stick to these angles. There's a couple players in the vicinity, and this might be perfect, especially if they get aggressive now. Look at this. The timing. So good for Vici. 2 players flanking around from behind. The trigger discipline is something we talked about before. And Kaze, in the meantime, he's going to get 1. This is going to be tough now for Bren to bounce back.
Oh, it definitely is. Kaze in with another. Shut down eventually, but the problem is that flank then comes into play as Zoking eliminates Wits, and the rest of the players rush in towards that A site, but they're going straight into the M4 of Alman, and 16-11 Vici go. What a series this has been for them, shutting Bren out on the first map. A little bit more fight from Bren, but unfortunately Overpass can't go their way either, Jason.
I think we saw some good things out of them. I mean, it was definitely not like the glaringly obvious mistakes that we saw like on Inferno of, hey, smoke CT, or hey, have a little bit more utility instead of firepower, So they definitely cleaned a lot of things up, and I think this could be a decent contender as we do progress through further into these weeks. But not a bad showing. Obviously not the way they want to start things out with, but that still means Vici will take the series 1-0 or 2-0 and get themselves up 1-0 overall within this round-robin group stage format. But luckily for us, Mitch, we do have 2 other people, lovely people who are watching. We got Bled and Dinka as well to join us to talk about that last map, and I guess the series overall. And I guess let's start off with your thoughts this time, Dinko. What'd you think of the map?
Well, I think Bren coming into this looked much better. They actually won some opening duels, and they're actually doing quite well on that front. Over on the CT side, I think they looked pretty good as well. In a lot of the rounds, they were getting quite proactive, a lot of good control there. But again, they didn't get enough rounds on the CT side for me to be able to see them competing in the second half. Well, it doesn't help that Kaze was to top it off. Like, this is the kind of star performance we expect from him. It's just what can really elevate the performance of the rest of the field. Well, if Kaz is going to show up consistently in this tournament, a lot of the teams here in PAL are going to have a huge issue to try and go up to the PG.
I'm hoping Blair's not muted.
I'm right
okay.
here. Sorry. I was waiting for you to throw it to me. I was trying to be polite, but fine. Just like talk over you. But yeah.
Okay, so Mitch, what was your thought? No.
All right. Are you done being rude, Jason?
Yeah, I'm done.
But in all seriousness, I agree with Dinko here. I think for Vici, it's kind of another day in the office. I lost track of how many multi-kill rounds we had from the players, right? We had, I think, Zoking with a 4K coming from behind. We had Alman having his moments. Jam Young, especially B bombs, are looking good. So individually, the players of Vici really look on point. Even Advent, someone I personally don't expect to really frag that much. He was doing a pretty good job. But for me, what's kind of glaring is Vici as a whole making a little bit too many mistakes. I feel like a few little over rotations, a little bit of timing not really working out for them, and I felt like that made things a little bit harder for them. So looking from Vici's perspective, this performance should suffice against the likes of a Bren or Lucid Dream or Beyond or some of these other teams from Southeast Asia. But when you face off against, let's say, Tiger, even D13, or for that matter, Tai Lu, they need to tighten the ship up a little bit more, or else it's going to be a problem. But yeah, for Bren, I think not too much to read into this. They face off against the top 2, top 3 team in Asia, and they have a lot more opportunities. Some of the 5 teams will have a problem against them, because I like the way they approach the map. And yeah, maybe they haven't played in a long time, just 2 or 3 maps in the past 3 months. So hopefully they look a little bit better in the future games.
Yeah, I like how you guys kind of pointed out that we saw like some individual moments, right? We saw Jam Young's B-side hold, we saw Kaze with the op, we saw Joking, kind of be everywhere around the map, but we didn't really see them play well together, if that makes sense, right? We didn't really see like a lot of assisting. We didn't see pop flashes for teammates. We didn't see too many trade kills, just more of like individual play. And is kind of that the story of Vici, or is there going to be more to them, you think, as the whole tournament progresses?
I think that
I feel like...
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. Go on.
No. I just wanted to touch on very quickly what Jason said. I think he hit the nail on the head with the fact that Vici as a team are unique in Asia for playing a more EU, like a team-centric style of Counter-Strike than anyone else. So yeah, it's good that they're showing up individually, but this is not the style of Vici that I personally am used to.
I was wondering, though, when we came into this, maybe you can shine a bit more light on it, whether Vici might be kind of containing themselves a little bit, because this definitely didn't look like they came in with the intention of playing as a team and it went wrong. This looked like they came in playing as individuals, sort of pugging it in a way up against Bren, and possibly because they don't consider this team too much of a threat, and they can conceal their strategies. After all, this goes on for 3 weeks in the group stages, and all these other teams are getting to look at these matches and gather a little bit of data about them. So knowing that they're the better team, maybe they didn't bring everything to the table today to conserve their energy and their strategies a little bit for future games.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, for teams like Vici and Tai Lu, I think that the one thing